Hi you two, this is today's postcard from Miss Lee. So this is the cover of the postcard. I can see in the corner it says Paddy Fields, Guizhou, and then I'm looking at a picture that is nothing like I've really ever seen before. It's very interesting, isn't it? I can see lots and lots of green, and from the caption I know that this must be some fields, but they look very, very different to the kind of fields that we have in our country, don't they? I can see that they seem to be in layers. It looks like layers on a big hill, really. Um, so that's very, very interesting. And then in the corner, I can see some green forests. So this is really different to the fields that we have here. So I'm very excited to hear what Miss Lee has to say about these very interesting fields. Let's find out. Here is Miss Lee's postcard for today. Dear Miss Rogerson, I loved hearing all about the famous buildings you have in Bristol. I've shared a picture of paddy fields with you today, which is where rice is grown. China grows the most rice in the world. Guizhou is very mountainous, so we have to adapt the land to be able to grow our food. Farmers dig into the mountain to make it flat so they can grow their crops. It looks beautiful from above. You can also see one of our evergreen forests in the background. Do you have lots of mountains in Bristol? Do you grow any of your own food? What is your favourite place to be in nature? I can't wait to hear your reply. Miss Lee. So Miss Lee shared lots of new information with us just then. She explained that interesting photo on the front of our postcard today is a picture of paddy fields, which is where rice is grown. So a field where rice is grown is called a paddy field. She also used this word mountainous, which means there's lots of mountains. So we've learnt that there are lots and lots of mountains in Guizhou. And then a final new word that she's used in her postcard is this word evergreen. Have you ever heard that word before? Some of you might have done. An evergreen forest is a forest of trees which keep their leaves all year round. So if you remember back in autumn, lots of the trees around us lost their leaves. That's because they are what's called deciduous trees, whereas evergreen trees are trees that keep their leaves all year round. So we've actually learnt a lot from Miss Lee today. So Miss Lee asked us some questions to answer in our postcard, and that's what we'd like you to do today. We'd like you to reply to Miss Lee and make sure that you answer the questions that she asked. So the first question that she asked was, do you have any mountains in Bristol? Now, we don't have any mountains in Bristol, but we do have quite a lot of hills. So you could talk about some of the hills that we have. She then asked, do you grow any of your own food? Because she's telling us all about the rice fields that they have there. So some of you might have an allotment, or you might have grown some herbs on your windowsill before, or maybe you don't grow your own food and you can tell her all about the supermarket that you go to. Her final question was, where is your favourite place to be in nature? And that's up to you. You could tell her all about the woods that we have near our school, Snuff Mills, or maybe you like to go to a park near your house. You can tell her all about that. That's your activity today. So today we would like you to do another piece of writing just like yesterday. And just like Miss Molam said yesterday, we've not written in quite a long time. So it's okay if you find this a bit tricky and a bit difficult. All we want you to do is try your best. You know what you need to remember for your super sentences. You need your capital letters, your finger spaces, and your piece of punctuation at the end. That could be a question mark, a full stop, or an exclamation mark if you say something really exciting. It's then really important that you read your writing back to yourself to check it makes sense. Have any of the words in your sentence snuck out? Have you missed anything out? Some things that you might want to include that we've learnt about is some expanded noun phrases. That's where you use adjectives to describe what you're saying. So you can help Miss Lee imagine the fields and the hills that you're describing in Bristol. If you mention more than one thing, you might want to use commas in a list Remember, you always use and before the final thing in your list. And then the final thing to remember is proper nouns. We are talking about Bristol, which is our city. It is a proper noun, which means it needs a capital letter at the start. Not just at the start of your sentence, you need a capital letter for Bristol too. Lots of you have sent some beautiful letters that you wrote yesterday, so please do share them with us if you write a letter today. And like we said, just try your best and take your time.